Run along here, Locked On SEC. One of our favorite segments every week is catching up with our buddy Chris Marler from the College Football Uncensored podcast. And Marler, two monster games happening this weekend, so let's just jump right into it. Let's start with the game in the SEC East. It is Tennessee and Georgia, and it really feels like the rightful crown to the SEC East is on the line here this weekend. A lot of people thinking Tennessee, and look, they've been so excellent, but from things I've heard you saying is not so fast. Let's stop acting like Georgia's not a good team, right?
I just don't like. I think Tennessee's awesome to watch, and I think the 2019 LSU comparisons are a little bit much. I think we need to like pump the brakes on that a little bit. And it's not that this isn't like fun. Like, listen, I grew up an Alabama fan. I hated Tennessee when I was a kid because they ruined 7 straight years of my childhood. But I mean, like this has been fun to watch. It's hard not to root for Hendon Hooker. It's hard not to root for Josh Heupel. The stadium atmosphere looks incredible. The fans are back into it, and they really are. They do impress me more than just the offense, and I think they're going to be really tough to stop. But what's going to happen on Saturday, in my opinion, is you're talk about a Georgia team that won a national championship last year, and I always make this joke that Georgia fans have just been begging to be disrespected, just this horny for disrespect thing this entire year. They just want you to doubt them. They just like. Constantly. They're the number 1 team in the country. And what's going to happen on Saturday is that you're going to see 2 offenses that are going to come out. And because Todd Monken's one of the best play callers in the country. And people don't give enough credit. And they're going to be able to open up the entire playbook. Tennessee's going to have to cover Brock Bowers. They're going to have to cover Darnell Washington. They're going to have to cover Ladd McConkey, Kearis Jackson. I mean, I'm going to keep going on and on and on. I just don't think that Georgia is not going to put up 30 to 40 points because they do it every game. They do it every single game. And that defense isn't Bama. I mean, Georgia's given up 30 points or more in the Kirby Smart era only 10 times. I don't think, and he also is 1-9 in those 10 games. But so if Tennessee can get to there, maybe it happens. But on the road in Athens, I just think we're really discounting the national champions right now.
And it's interesting. We're almost victims of the moment of what we saw this past weekend because we saw Tennessee's best defensive performance of the year shutting down Kentucky.
Right.
And we saw Stetson Bennett, who the offense looked good against Florida, but they had some hiccups. They fumbled the ball. He had a couple interceptions. I mean, there were some things Georgia did bad on offense that kept or opened the door for Florida to make it a game. And then they put the foot back on the gas pedal and rolled. But still, I think like the timing of right now, Tennessee's feeling very confident. They just had their best defensive performance of the year.
Well, and the offense just rolls. It doesn't stop. You don't have a bad game from this offense. Hendon Hooker it's every single game you look up. He's got somehow he's got at least 3 touchdowns in the air, another touchdown passing, and no interceptions. They don't turn the ball over. Here's the thing. So I've heard Bama fans say this a lot about the Tennessee game. We had 17 penalties, we had 2 turnovers, and that fumbled punt, and whatever that was, and all of these things, and we still almost won. I hate that argument because you didn't win. It's just bottom line, you didn't win. But Georgia doesn't make all those mistakes consistently. I know they did against Florida, and they've looked bad at times. I just don't think that they're gonna do that. You're not gonna have blown coverages like that. I don't think for Georgia. So it's gonna be a really good game. I think Tennessee is gonna be fun to watch coming out on script, especially. I think Georgia wins. I think they cover.
Let's talk about the other big game. Some people are saying it could be the de facto SEC West title, but Alabama going to Baton Rouge. This is a game that at the start of the year maybe didn't look that scary for Alabama. This has been historically a very good rivalry game, even though Alabama's won a lot of close ones in Baton Rouge. They still have won there. But now all of a sudden we got a game here in Baton Rouge that really means something, and an LSU team playing at a high level right now with the way Jaden Daniels is playing. They're playing with a lot of confidence. Where are you on Alabama at LSU?
So everyone's going to give me crap for this, I think, but I think LSU is going to win this game. And I listen, I love stats, and I love I don't love this rivalry because it's like, I mean, you've remembered this game from like 2007 to 2018, 2019. It's just 3 hours of heartburn. It's awful. It's especially the way these two offenses used to play, where it was like this 17-13, like defense nonstop, and you're just begging to get to the fourth quarter so it could be, and hoping you have a very, very tough in the trenches game. This game, I mean, I love Bryce Young. I think he's the best quarterback in the country. I love what he's done all year. Maybe Will Anderson gets off the snide, get some of those freshman tackles y'all have. Bama's lost 5 games in Baton Rouge since 1958. 5 games. 2 of those losses were against Nick Saban. He's on their side, all that kind of stuff. And I tell you what, so Bama fans, or me, I'm not scared of Death Valley at night. because I've just seen my team. Tide don't lose in Baton Rouge, right? I've seen it 1,000 times. They will this weekend. Because I mean, I don't think that they play well on the road, and they're going to be in a. This is an environment that, like, if you thought Texas was bad, you thought Arkansas was bad, you thought Tennessee at 3:30 in the afternoon was bad. Jesus, man, you're going to get these Cajuns drinking all day, and there's not a team I think LSU hates more besides ISIS than Alabama, and so I think
And we talked about it before the season, the tough road schedule for Alabama this year. It just seemed like, man, those are some tough road environments. And Alabama, more than not, can overcome them. It's just when you have a team like this that has not clicked on all cylinders week in and week out. There have been times where they look like dominant Alabama, but there's times where the defense is sloppy, the offense is inconsistent, 3 and outs and stuff like that. So, again, they're going to be tested. And I'm with you. I think one of the upsets happened. I don't feel like we're going to come out of this weekend. And everybody's jumping on. Georgia's a heavy favorite. Bama's a heavy favorite. It feels like one of these upsets is going to happen this weekend.
Yeah. What's going to have to happen in this game is you're going to have. I mean, Jaden Daniels is going to have to play like he's been playing the last 2 weeks. He's got 11 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks combined. You have to get play from Kayshon Boutte here, Kayshon Boutte, and Jack Besh, and get the tight ends involved, because what screws over Bama, and I know Jalen Hyatt had 5 touchdowns in one game against them, but seemingly he said that to everybody, to some extent. So I think you're going to have to end up getting like somebody is going to have to come in and also spell a little bit of Jaden Daniels. He can't do it all on his own, I don't think. But he also is going to have I've come on unplugged here, Gordy. I'm sorry.
You're okay.
Just a second. Sorry about that, man. No, you're gonna have to expand the field a little bit, stretch the field, and it's gonna have to be a little bit balanced. But you're gonna need multiple guys in that offense that are going to be to help out Jaden Daniels, because if they can key in on just Jaden Daniels, I don't think they lose the game. But I don't think they'll be able to. And Brian Kelly's a good coach.
He is. Chris Marler, the College Football Uncensored podcast. Always fun to catch up every week, man. We'll see if you were right next week.
All right, man. Have fun in Philly.
All right, more on Locked On SEC right after this.